Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Will. Will is from Miami in Florida in the USA. So let's see what Will has to say. Enjoy the interview. I can see you now. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Will. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
Good.
Will, so tell me, how's your day been so far?
It's been kind of busy. I work. I have a normal job. I've been working from home since COVID happened, so it's been kind of busy. There's a lot of changes going on, so keeping myself, pretty busy, pretty much like away from Instagram as much as I could be.
What do you do for a living?
I process payroll, so I work in the payroll department for a asset management company.
So tell me, what do you like the most about your job?
The most I like about my job is that as much as it seems repetitive, there's always a challenge in that I could always try to figure out a way to make the process easier or to fix any issues that I find. So that's what I like about my job, is that there's always a challenge, even though sometimes it seems like it tends to take like a plateau, and then it just goes from there, and it becomes challenging at some points, like right now.
And where are you from, Will?
I was originally born in Key West, Florida. A lot of people, it's so funny because a lot of people know where I'm from. Like, people, you say the city and I guess it's famous around the world. And to me, I'm like, it's such a small little place, and like, I've heard people say where they're from in other cities and throughout the United States. And, I don't know, but yet I say where I'm from, and it seems like no matter who you talk to around the world, they know exactly where you're from. It's so crazy. But yeah, I was born in Key West, Florida. And I moved to Miami in 2004, on and off 2004.
And why Miami?
So Miami, I first moved up with an ex of mine, my very first boyfriend. And so that was my first time living alone. It was very scary. It was away from my mom, my mom and my dad, but I'm very close to my mom. And it was, I've always liked Miami as a kid. I did live in New York for some time, and I got to experience what it's like to live in a big city. Mm-hmm. And I realized that Miami is kind of like the happy medium for me. Like, you get the city life, and you get kind of the tropical life, you get the beach, the warm weather. So it's kind of like an in-between for me. Key West and New York is that happy medium.
And your family all back in Key West?
Yes, my entire family is in Key West.
I see. And right, so are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Sure.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend, full of random fun questions, okay? So I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to get in the mood a little bit before the first question, okay?
All right.
Let's do it. Will, so just before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to have an answer, I always can change, okay?
Okay.
Over friendly. First question for you is, what is something that you won and how did you win it? Something special.
So, God, winning a prize. The only thing that comes to mind right now, I haven't won many prizes, but the one thing that I do recall winning was in high school. I won a television, and that was just, my name was drawn out of a box, and I was so in shock that I was like, I won a TV. I was like, I never win anything. Like, like, what? It was so weird. So I guess that's the thing that comes to mind. A TV.
Like, did did you like school?
Did I like school? No. I did not like school. Definitely not one to just sit there and forced to be taught something. I do like to learn, but things that I'm obviously interested in.
Very good. Next question for you. Let's do it. Yes, please. You can help me dancing. So we was checking your profile a little bit, and I could see a lot of videos on TikTok. You do a lot of videos there, yeah? What's the inspiration for your videos?
Honestly, it's really just to make people laugh. Like, I am a fool in and out. I love making my friends laugh all the time. I love making my family laugh as much as possible. It was something that I grew up. I saw, and I think it was because there was some turmoil in the family, but I saw my uncle and my aunt when there wasn't issues, and it was always a very happy time. They were always going out of their way to be jokesters, to be funny. So I think that in my mind it's ingrained with only happy times. So I'm constantly just like looking for a way to recreate a happy moment. So a lot of the times when I make these TikTok videos, I'm actually laughing at myself so much that when like some people don't get the joke, I'm like, oh man, but it was so funny in my head, right? So I mean, I'm not a comedian, but I really try to like make other people laugh as much as possible. And I like making a fool of myself. I'd rather make a fool of myself than make a fool of anybody. So yeah, I enjoy it very much.
And you always had this personality of being very approachable and full of energy, happiness?
I would say that in high school, I was very shy. It's weird because it's almost like, I don't know if you experience this, but when you're with different people, you kind of take on a different energy sometimes.
Yeah.
So like if I'm in a if I'm in a huge group, I tend to be a little bit more reserved. But if somebody turns on the spotlight and says, you need to do something here now, then I kind of just turn on. So it's for the most part, I'm very quiet and reserved, but if I'm asked to do something, then I can typically do it, if that makes sense.
It does. I think it's all about the energy in the room or in the place. You know what I mean? You kind of adjust ourselves for the place or the atmosphere or what people are doing. It's
Yeah.
easy. I understand.
Agreed.
What gives you butterflies?
What gives me butterflies? I have butterflies right now. I mean, I love I love doing things that are different, I've never done, like an interview like this. I've done things like live chats. That gives me butterflies because you don't know what's going to happen. And you kind of can set a space where people can talk about anything, right? So anytime that I've done live chats, that gets me excited. What else do I get butterflies with? I guess, I don't know. For right now, that's all I could think of. Like maybe going on dates gets me butterflies, things like that. But it's always the unexpected. So I'm kind of realizing it's always you don't know what's gonna happen. So that's always giving me like the excitement, the butterflies. That's how I experience them.
You say about dating. In a city like Miami, do you find dating as, let's say, a easy way of dating? The date community there, like dating guys, it's easy in Miami, or because a big city, there's a lot of, beautiful men, and it's quite hard in your opinion?
So I've actually talked about this before on live, and it's not a very popular opinion because it tends to be more inward. I don't know if you've heard this phrase before, but some people will say, well, I need to leave this city because of the guys here, you can't date them, or blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the community, I don't feel accepted. And I've heard this living in Miami. I've heard this living in New York. I've heard this from people that live in California. And I started to think, maybe it's not the city. Maybe it's the community. And maybe we need to kind of look inward and see what it is. What kind of people are we hanging out with? What kind of dates that we're going on? Are we doing the typical reaching out to guys that are never available? And so that I do it. I for some reason I'm attracted to the guy that doesn't pay attention to me, right? We all understand that. So it's not like I understand something or I'm judging others for thinking this way. It's just take a moment to reflect on that and say, it's not necessarily the city, it's the environment you put yourself into. So a lot of people will say, well, then how do you go on dates? How do you find guys? And I say, well, I kind of put myself out there so that I am exposed to not just guys on at the bar and not just guys on Grindr or on a hookup or dating app, because yes, they're 99% of the time, the guys on there are just looking for one thing and they're looking at one picture of you. When you put yourself physically out there, like you join a sports club, like I was on a volleyball team, I was on, I'm always out there like at the beach, like with friends, but do something that's, I'm always doing game nights with my friends and they invite their friends. And so you start to like hang out. I was in a gay man's chorus. So you kind of put yourself out there like that. You expose yourself to other people. So that way you're giving the opportunity in person to have that spark. So I don't think that a city is really ever to blame. I think it's the kind of people you hang out with or in the situations you put yourself in.
Very
Sorry.
good point.
Sorry if I talk too much.
No, I love it. I love it. Please, you're in the right place. Talk too much is the right place.
Okay.
No, I understand sometimes, of course, big cities, you can find, everything. There's always, but you need to see what you're looking for, which tribes you want to be in, or which kind of relationship you're going to have, which kind of, it's all about you. It's how you're going to manage, what you're looking for. It doesn't matter the place. Of course, big cities, there's always more people. There are always more things that is easier in a way. So good point. I like it.
Yeah.
Next question. Next question for you is, what motivates you the most in life?
What motivates me the most in life? What motivates me the most in life? What motivates me the most in life? Somebody asked me this question the other day. They were like, what makes you go forward? And I'm like, I just enjoy life. I enjoy getting up and having my little routine, doing my work and then stepping out and going to the gym. So I wouldn't say that there's like one thing per se that motivates me. I just think overall, I enjoy my family. I enjoy my friends. These are things that I look forward to. I enjoy biking, being outside. So it's if there's one thing I couldn't point it out. It's an overall, and I that sounds a little bit like a Miss America, Miss Universe response, and I apologize for that. I was not trying to go there, but it's definitely like I really don't know how to answer that question. Like people have asked, "Oh, what motivates you?" And I'm just like, just me. Like I can't really answer that. Some people can. They're like, "Oh, my family, my kids, my my dogs, my boyfriend, my wife." Like I don't have right now something that's one person or one thing that motivates me. It's kind of just an overall experience. I'm just excited to wake up every day and do something like this, for example.
Wow. Now you can, as you said about the Miss Universe, now you can just shake your hand like this to the public, to the audience. Saying that, do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
Oh, I would say that I am more of a night person. I do wake up early on the weekends, but I do like to stay out late. And I like to be up late. So I would say I'm a night person.
Good. Next question. Before the next question, Will, by the way, your name is William as well?
So my legal name is Guillermo, birth name Guillermo. But I will, because translated in English is William.
You know, the funny thing is, people always, I'm originally from Brazil and I've been living in England for the last 17, 18 years. People always ask me if my name is originally William. In Brazil, back in Brazil, we have Guilherme, like
Yeah.
Guilherme, and also have William as well. We have both names.
Oh,
But so
okay.
people, yeah, we have both in Brazil. And some people think that I translated William, but they think that my original name is Guilherme, but not. My name is proper William. I'm asking that. You mentioned before about being gay. Did you always have the support of your family?
So my uncle and aunt that I was referring to, they're both gay. And a big side of my family is very, like, a lot of them are gay on my mom's side. So support, I would say that it was something that was a little hard for my mom not to accept, just to kind of work with or deal with in her head, because of the experiences that she had in Cuba, because of how there you can't necessarily be gay. If not, you know, you told all kinds of bad things, or even persecuted, or you could be killed. So yeah, so it wasn't that she didn't love me or support me, or doesn't. Of course she's there for me. I talk to her about, you know, anything and everything gay related, anything. It's just that it's an odd experience where it's like acceptance, but, you know, just don't be feminine. Like, I accept you as gay, but don't do this. I accept you as, it's like a weird, like, half acceptance. And so that's still something I'm working out with her and talking to her about. And, you know, but yeah, I've had support overall as I came out at 15. So
Wow.
Yeah, pretty young. Being 38 now, it was a while ago. I was in high school, so yeah.
And the day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt, okay, it's the day I'm gonna come out? Or
I've always been around my teen years, I something just drove me to do things, and that was something like that, where I was like, I just need to do it. I need to do it. I'm tired of hiding who I was at 15 years old. Wow. And so I knew, I told my mom, and then my mom told my dad. And so we, you know, we've just talked about it since, and they've grown tremendously since, because, you know, my parents are young. At the time when I told my mom, if I was 15, she was 30 something. She was super young. And yeah, she was like 37 or 38. Actually, she was probably my age when I told her. So she still had a lot of learning to do herself. And she just, you know, even though Key West is a very gay city, it used to be a lot more gay. There's still a lot of gay people there, but it's the older generation. A lot of the young gay guys now have moved or to live further this way. So her experience with the gay world was not as open or as understanding as you would think, because her only brother and her only sister were gay. They were very much like two different worlds. Yeah. So yeah, and they weren't like the best influences when it comes to being gay. They were troublemakers. So that was another fear of her. And then also, I was born in 84. So around that time was the big HIV, AIDS epidemic that was going on. And in Key West, it was huge. So that was like another fear of her. So it was like these things that I had to like peel back and be like, I am my own individual person. I'm not a troublemaker. And don't worry, I protect myself, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah.
So so your mom, her brother is gay and her sister is gay as well.
Mm-hmm.
And her son is gay.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very interesting. But is there only two siblings that she has?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Next question for you is, what 3 things are you most grateful for?
What 3 things I'm most grateful for? Well, one for sure, it's my mom. I'll say my family, because I'm close to my family. So my family. Another thing I'm grateful for is my health. Just being here, being alive, and just being able to be here and have this conversation with you and not have to worry about anything else. Third thing I would be grateful for is just like my friends, my best friends. They're all like really great people, and yeah, I guess those are the three things I would be grateful for.
Do you see yourself leaving Miami for a long period of time?
No, unless the water's like lapping at my front door, which hopefully won't happen, but doesn't seem like we're gonna be avoiding that. I for now, until I need a canoe or something to take me further away.
Good one. Next question, Will. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what's the most dramatic argument you ever had?
Dramatic argument I ever had. Ooh, man. Dramatic argument I ever had. God, it had to do with politics, and it had to do with my mom. You can see how close I am. Yeah. So my mom doesn't lean right or left. She leans more right than she thinks, but she has a strong opinion, and it doesn't matter how you come to her with facts. It seems like if she feels a certain way about it, it doesn't matter if you have I'll give you a perfect example. When we were kids, this lady that lived next door, she was HIV positive, and she was very, very sick. And she cooked us brownies one day, and I ate the brownie, and I got a slap across the face because she was worried that I was going to get sick. Right. So even though at the time she had the information to know that I wasn't at all at risk, she still feared something bad happening. So that's kind of her mindset. Like, once she has a fear of something or she doesn't really understand it, to try to change her mind, even though you're giving her like really good, like, hey, like, calm down, please, these are the facts. It's like, that doesn't exist. So it was something about politics, and it became very dramatic. I'm like, man, this is getting intense. Yeah.
I can see how much you are very close to your mom. What is the biggest difference between both of you, and what's the biggest similarity?
Well, I was born the day before her birthday, so I would say that's a pretty big similarity. We're very similar in the way that we are. God, there's so many similarities. But I would say the biggest difference is that I am a little bit more open-minded, a lot more open-minded, I should say, than she. She's very much like, she'll eventually get there, which is why I said she's progressed. So over time, you're kind of like chipping away, like, hey, mom, please understand. Like, something I've had to repeatedly tell her was, you live a life where everything around you never question your welcomeness, for example. Like, you never question you walking into a place and you being able to hold your husband's hand or kiss him in public, and you never think, what is someone watching me? Is someone going to tell me something? Is this right? Is this wrong? You never had to live that life. And because she's like, oh, you have all this love, and we love you so much, and we love you as you are. And I'm like, but you've never had to say that to my brother or my sister. So please understand that those words coming out of your mouth, but I accept you, I love you, that should never be told to a child, because that means that there's something different about them, and there's nothing different about me. So these are conversations that I've had to talk to her about. Once I tell her, she kind of like sits back and goes, oh yeah, you're right. But it's like chipping away at that. So yeah.
What's her name?
My mom's name, Sarah.
Sarah. And you said that you were born one day before hers.
Yeah, the day before my mom's birthday. Yeah.
Which would be which day?
She was born in January.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Just to try to work it out your star sign. You say about her personality.
Oh, she's a Capricorn.
Very strong personality. My sister is Capricorn, my sister, and she's got a very strong personality. As you said, they have this way of seeing things. They don't see this way, they see this way. That's what's the right way of seeing things.
Yeah.
Next question. Before the next one, tell me a little bit about your tattoo in your arms. What's the meaning?
It's so funny that you asked me that. So this tattoo, I am actually gonna get it filled in with another design. I got this tattoo at like 23, and this didn't represent anything for me. I was 23, I thought it was cool, I wanted to get it. And so people have always asked me like, hey, like, you know, what does it mean? Like, what does it represent? And I'm like, I have to roll my eyes and say, I just thought it was cool. So I'm gonna get it filled in with something that actually means something soon. So ask me that question again in like a year, and you'll see it.
This is William Magic Box Season 2. I'm gonna ask again.
Yeah.
Next question is, what was your best name growing up? No, sorry. What was your best friend name growing up, and why you consider this person your best friend at the time?
Okay, so my best friend's name growing up was Jose. And why? Because we like to play video games all day. And that's all we did.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yeah, we're still friends.
You're saying that your mom is she's from Cuba, your mom, Cuba.
Yes, yeah.
And do you speak Spanish as well?
Yes, yeah.
And what you consider your first language, Spanish or English?
My first language, believe it or not, would be Spanish. Even though I grew up in the West, it was Spanish, and I learned English when I got to school.
But you were born in America?
Yeah.
West.
Mm-hmm.
See. Ready for another one?
Yes.
Of course you are. Let's do it. Okay, Will, next question for you is, what is your all-time favorite band and why you consider that?
My all-time favorite band would have to be, I like 30 Seconds to Mars. I think they're really good. I like the way that music is written, and I enjoy just the lyrics of his music. His name is Dan Reynolds, I think. So he's really good. I do enjoy 30 Seconds to Mars. No, not 30. Yeah, 30 Seconds to Mars. That's the band name. Sorry, Jared Leto is the singer.
And an artist, single artist, who would be your favorite artist as a single one?
As a single artist? Man, that's a really good question. Gosh, I have so many. I guess just to pull one off the top of my head would be, I love Pink. Love Pink is really, really good. So she's one of my favorites, for sure.
Very good. Next question, Will. Right, let's say I'm coming to Miami for the very first time. It's a must to see? What's a must to go besides the beach?
What is a must to see in Miami besides the beach? Well, I mean, everyone likes to visit Calle Ocho, which is a part of Miami that has a very large Cuban. It's a big Cuban area. You get your typical Cuban cafecito. They sell cigars there. You get to experience the Cuban culture. So Calle Ocho would be a place to visit. There's also Vizcaya, which is in Coral Gables. And that is a historic place. And it's very nice to visit there. It's a museum. So it's very beautiful there.
And what's
So I
the
would
most... Sorry, carry on. Carry on. Sorry, what to say?
no, it's just very beautiful there.
I see. And what's the most challenging part of living in Miami, in your opinion?
The most challenging, well, right now is the cost of rents. They're very, very, very high right now. I want to say Miami is probably like number 1 or number 2 in the country right now with the highest housing costs.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Yeah, there's a huge influx of people coming in from across the United States, and a lot of them are young. And compared to the value of homes elsewhere, I understand why they're all coming here, because it's warm, they have less COVID restrictions, you get more housing for your money. If you're being paid a salary from California, obviously living remotely and working here, you're going to be taking in all that income. But the people that live here, it's a problem. I have a friend of mine whose rent went up $400 in a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
So my favorite teacher is Miss LaValle, and she just was very sweet, and she was very loving and very understanding of all her students, and she just always gave her all.
And which subject was your favorite at the time at school? Even though I know you didn't like school at all.
My favorite subject was choir. I was in choir there. I also like PE. What else? I liked art class. As you can see, there was really no class of, like math or no, thank you. Really, thank you. So, yeah, those were the classes that I enjoy.
Can you still sing?
Do I still sing? For like in the shower. I don't go out of my way to sing in public or anything like that.
Funny. I have 3 questions left for you. Okay, Will? Let's do it. When I was talking to you, I think yesterday or the day before, regarding the interview, and you're saying that it's going to be the gay pride in Miami this weekend. Yeah. Tell me, what's the best part of the gay pride in Miami? What's the best, let's say, attractions?
Miami, attractions, I wouldn't necessarily know, but the parade happens on Sunday. And so that's really big. From what I understand is that Miami Beach Pride is the fastest growing LGBTQ event in the US.
Oh, wow.
I have to agree with that, because when I first walked in the Miami Beach Pride in 2009, it was very small. And to think that Miami Beach held the Pride for the first time in 2009, after, my God, I've always known Miami Beach to be the gay city, is insane. So the fact that they did it so late is not a surprise to me, that now it's the largest, because everyone just knows Miami Beach as being gay.
I see. Cool. Next question is, what is one thing you can't live without?
What is one thing I can't live without? What is one thing I can't? I guess my cell phone. That would be something I can't live without. Yeah, and going to the gym.
How often do you go to the gym?
I try to go Monday to Friday.
Very good.
Yeah.
2 questions left for you, Will. Let's do it. Next question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why.
Define myself in a season of the year. Okay. I would say summer. Just because but I mean, it's always summer here in Miami. But because I like the chill vibe. So I love going to the beach. I'm there almost every weekend. I actually got a tattoo a palm tree. That actually represents me. So just, you know, the warm water, the clear water, the sandy beaches, like the warm air, you know, the waves, like, so just summer is just something that I look forward to every year, because even though it's warm outside here, it can be warm in the winter. The water is very, very cold. It could be like down to 50 something. So I do.
Tell me something, Will, being a good-looking guy, you know, fit, good-looking guy in Miami, do you think it's a plus, or do you think sometimes people can misunderstand?
So I really don't try to think, I guess I don't think about that. I don't try to think about that in the sense of it being like something where someone can take it as a negative, but I have experienced some guys telling me, oh, you're just a heartbreaker, or oh, and completely cut me off from dating or talking to them. So I've experienced that, and it kind of, in that aspect, I guess it kind of sucks, because I'm like, damn, like you don't know who I am. And I guess my thing is that I always tell people, like, don't just take my word for it, because I feel like words are empty. You know, you can promise everything, but if you're not acting on it, then why say it? So I always just act more. I act as I am. So the person that you see is the person that you're gonna get. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. If I'm having a bad day, you could tell. If I'm having a good day, you could tell. Like I can't really fake it. So, you know, I've never really had the problem of also telling people in that moment how I feel. You know, it's backfired, but it's at least I'm trying to be as honest as possible, I guess. So
I think it's the Latin blood going around your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last question. Will, but before the last question, you know, the world has been facing for the last 2 years the COVID crisis. Yeah. For you personally, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life, and what's the biggest negative impact as well at the same time?
So the biggest impact would be positive, would be that I got an opportunity to work remote and be home and have a work-life balance that I didn't have before. So that would be a positive impact, where I felt like I was a little bit more in control of my life, versus being tied down and like caged up into an office. Negative impact would be that it affected my family, and that I lost family members from COVID. So it's definitely something that has impacted negatively there. But you know, those two things are the things that stand out to me the most.
During the lockdown, did you spend most of the time in Miami, or you went back to Key West?
No, I spent it in Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last question, Rio. Let's do it. What's your idea of a perfect day?
Of a perfect date?
No, day. Sorry, it's day.
Day. A perfect day. What's my idea of a perfect day? My idea of a perfect day is spending it at the beach with music, hanging out with my friends, and just having a good time and laughing and being silly and being at the beach the entire day. I love it.
And as you mentioned about dates, what would be a perfect idea of a perfect date?
A perfect date. An idea of a perfect date. I guess a perfect date would be that we enjoy each other's company so much, and that we're laughing and getting along so well that we don't want to leave each other by the end of the night. That would be a perfect date. As far as like physical stuff, whatever, you know, I find myself being attracted to many different guys. So just, yeah, like just having that connection, which I've had before, and it was great. And so I would say that that's a perfect date.
Very good. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words and just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Love.
Money.
Greed.
One word for love.
Hope.
One word for sex.
Enjoyable.
Life.
Deceit, I guess, would be the same thing. Yeah, I guess that's the same.
Politics.
Interesting.
Religion.
Oh God, what's a good word for that one? Like lies.
Fear.
Religion.
For some reason, I knew you'd say that. I don't know why. Friendship.
Joy.
One word for desire.
Desire. That's a really good song by King and Kings. Good word for desire. Man. I can't think of a word. Because I just repeating the word desire. I can't think of a word. I'm sorry. My mind's drawing a blank.
Not a problem. One word for regret.
Regret?
Yeah.
Learned. Lesson.
Success.
Success. Happiness.
Okay. One word for wish.
Wish. Need.
One word for passion.
Passion. Gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Passion. Drive.
One word for happiness.
Happiness. Love.
One word for Key West.
Retirement.
One word for Miami.
Fun.
One word for USA.
Needs help.
Let's help the US. Let's help. One word for Cuba.
It's just sad.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Will, and what's something that he still needs to work on to improve on? What your best friend would say?
My best friend would say to ask him, because he's very much an open book about these things. So my best friend would say that I care. That I care too much. So I care, which is a good thing, but something that I need to work on is that I care too much. Again, a very Miss America response, but it's definitely gotten me into places where that I need to work on, as far as just being a little bit more less giving, if that makes any sense. So
do you see some work in progress?
Oh yeah, constantly, all the time. Yeah, I drive my best friend crazy with talking to him and then me being like, oh yeah, I do need to work on that, or I need to do this, or I noticed this about myself, and da da da. It's constant.
If I would ask the same question to your lovely mom, would be the same answer?
If you ask the same question to my mom, what kind of response would she say? So what's something... My mom would probably respond with, because she says it all the time, that I'm very responsible. And then something that I need to work on is to not be so dramatic.
You've always been dramatic.
I guess I have since I was a kid. I just, she's, yeah, I would say she used to say that I would cry just asking for water. Just asking for water, I'll just start crying that I need water. She's just like, okay.
Okay, Will, let's play now, Will, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Will, before you ask me a question, what is your favorite Spanish word or phrase?
My favorite Spanish word. My grandfather used to say, jodido pero contento, which is, I'm messed up, but I'm happy.
Nice one. Wow, I like it. You can ask me a question now.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. So how long have you been doing these interviews for?
Right. So the project came along, the idea, March 2020, and I started doing the interviews in June 2020, and the show started on the 3rd of October. So it's been 1 year and more or less and a half. And so far I had already more than 500 people around the globe who participate in the show, which is amazing. Yeah. And so it's been a beautiful journey. It's hard work, but I don't see it as work. I go to bed thinking about that. I wake up every morning thinking about that. I'm going to work thinking about that. I go to the gym, having shower all the time. Everything I do is the magic box, and it's amazing. It's just fascinating, connect with people around the world, fascinating people, like sharing stories and memories. And I could do that for 24 hours non-stop, because it feeds my soul, it feeds my moods, and it's just amazing. I'm so grateful that this idea came along, because I find myself in this project, and it's amazing. I just feel very fortunate to be able to connect with so many amazing people around the globe. So it's been 1 year and a half, more or less.
Nice.
Will, did you enjoy the interview? Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much for being prompt, for being so quick for the interview. Thanks so much for taking the time as well. I think nowadays we are so busy with our lives, and sometimes when someone gives their time to you, it makes special. So thank you so much. Yeah. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
Something that I like to quote is, if you get comfortable, you will not see your dreams come true. And so I strive to never put myself in a comfortable situation. So even like these interviews, even putting myself out there in situations where I have felt insecure or I question not to do it, I've always pushed myself past that line. Perfect example. I'm sorry, I know you said to just say something, but I just want to give you the example of
sure.
Body image issues, right? So within the gay community, we have a lot of that, and around the world. It just doesn't pertain to gay, but so the fact that I would be at a volleyball court and I felt like I wasn't in the best shape, I wouldn't take my shirt off, and I would be scared to take my shirt. I finally told myself, no, be uncomfortable, get over it, like take your shirt off, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, and you will actually find out that you are making a bigger deal about it than you thought, right? So, or just asking a guy out at a bar, where you get the nerves and you're like, I can't, and you do it, and sometimes you get told no, or sometimes you get just a handshake, hi, you're such a nice person, or sometimes you get a phone number. It happens. So, you know, do not sit in the comfortable world just because you fear of what's on the other side. Find out what's on the other side, because even if rejection is there, then you just move on from that and you grow from it, right? So if you never encounter that rejection, or you never encounter that uncomfortable situation, you're never going to grow. So.
Saying that now, so you can take off your shirt then.
I am.
I'm teasing you. I'm just joking.
This is not OnlyFans.
Will, thanks so much for the interview, and you keep in touch, okay? Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay? Thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.